Hey everybody, Ryan here with Rays latest. And today we're going to talk about Steven Matz's debut with the Rays this spring, as well as just a little tidbit on Ben Williamson and a little article that they wrote about him as well, as long as with a little bit of spring training things that we had happen these past couple of days. So first, just to hop into Steven Matz. Had a solid first spring outing. He threw two scoreless innings, which is what we want to see, obviously, out of the guy that we just paid $7.5 million to be our fourth or fifth starter, along with Nick Martinez. But he's pitched his first game today, and Pepio will make his first start tomorrow with Rasmussen, rather, making his second start of the spring on Saturday. But Steven Matz, he, he comes out and says, definitely have nerves coming into it. It feels good to get into that environment with fans in different jerseys and all that stuff. They've been super communicative on what their plan is and they want for me and how the build-up process is going to be. So I really appreciate that. It's been a good process so far. This is good to hear, obviously, because we'd love to see what new guys coming in have to say about the organization and how they deal with the pitchers, especially is the Rays have always kind of been that team that's been really kind of high end on pitching projection and pitching, like being able to create pitchers from what they are as just a toolsy person to the best abilities that they can be. And the Rays have been that organization to be able to do that. And it's always interesting to kind of hear what pitchers that come in from free agency or being traded and things of that nature have to say about what the Rays organization is. And so I think that Matt's coming out. Obviously, you're going to have a little bit of nerves. That's normal in your first outing for a team, especially when they give you that chunk of change to kind of come be that guy for them. It's it's good to see that he is communicative with the staff, communicative with the coaching staff, and kind of just getting what their plan is for him and kind of just going on from there. He then goes on to say, there's different pitches I'm toying with, different locations, things the Rays brought to me, he said. So it was kind of figuring that stuff out there. This is the time of the year to do that. So seeing this is also another interesting thing because it kind of brings to that the Rays love to develop their pitchers. They love to see things that guys may or may not have noticed in the past. And him bringing that up to where he's kind of just toying around with different stuff and kind of trying to more or less be the best version of himself. And whether or not he's seen these things before and kind of tried to mess with these things before, but the fact that he's bringing up that the staff has kind of seen these things and kind of seen a little bit of intricacies and things of that nature that he hasn't maybe tapped into yet is great to see. Because if he can develop third or fourth pitches and or either fine tune his craft on his first, second, or third pitch, that would be ideal for the Rays. And I think that if Steven Matz can become the best version of himself for us and kind of just get into that groove and get into that mode of where he is able to confidently do everything at a high level, I think it's going to be great. Great for Tampa Bay, great for the Rays. And him kind of coming out and saying that, yeah, the staff has kind of seen some things that I need to work on. So that's what I'm working on this spring is fantastic because obviously spring training is exactly what you're trying to work those things on for. So I think that him just kind of coming out and working on those things and openly working on those things is kind of just gives a little bit of insight to the fans, a little bit insight to people who kind of keep track of the Rays of okay, I'm working on things. They've brought some things to my attention that maybe I haven't seen before. So this is good. This is great to see, especially he's working on these things. He works two scoreless. It's great to see. I'm excited for what's to come with him, and I'm really looking forward to kind of see him progress throughout the spring and into this season. The next thing I want to talk about, Ben Williamson. Obviously he was traded over here from the Mariners, and He says, I can't imagine his whirlwind. This is what Kevin Cash says. I can't imagine his whirlwind. At the end of my junior year, I sat down with the coaching staff at William and Mary, where he played college, and he was just like, what do I need to do to become a draft prospect? And the coaching staff there said, you need to put on more weight, hit for more power. He said, and I kind of took that to heart. I went into the summer ball season going into the gym a bunch more. I started taking creatine. Then in the fall that year, I was working out 10 times a week, doubling up on some days, double or triple scooping creatine, just doing my best to become a meathead. He said, and then obviously the plan worked. He played 101 games over his first three seasons, hit 294, seven homers, and 40 RBIs. He said, I put on 20 pounds of additional weight and like just everything jumped. I was bigger, faster, stronger than I'd ever been. The contact was always there, but I never felt that I really hit for much power. Then all of a sudden, the liner singles are turning into doubles, and the pop flies to the warning track are turning into homers. This is great. Cash goes on to say he definitely looks the part. And he says he's taken to second really well. He's a really good infielder, so it's just going to take a matter of reps of doing stuff at second. He seems like a very baseball savvy person and loves the game. Coming in here, I was kind of intimidated. I couldn't have been more happy with how the locker room feels, like just being able to go talk to guys like about literally anything. It could be about baseball, it could be about other lives, just not feeling like I'm walking on eggshells has been really cool. This is great to hear because obviously when guys come in, you're always curious to kind of see how they adapt to the locker room feel, kind of adapt to how things are going. And him kind of coming out and saying that he feels kind of very welcomed and he feels at home and he feels like he doesn't have to kind of walk around tiptoeing with what he says in the locker room and he can talk to them about anything. It's great to hear. And obviously what happened back in his college days where he starts taking creatine and he starts working out twice as much and he starts doing everything twice as much. Obviously, when you work your ass off, things are going to happen and things are going to work in your favor. And kind of just seeing all of that translate from words to progress on paper and progress in the gym and kind of just seeing him become the best version of himself is fantastic. And I think that him kind of just becoming that better person and having that work ethic and having that drive to do what he wants to do is great for the Tampa Bay Rays. And obviously, he's a primary third baseman, secondary second baseman. With what the infield coaches are saying, they're working him at third and second. You obviously have Junior Caminero, you have Gavin Lux. Those guys are going to primarily play third and second. But when you have Ben Williamson who can come in and just kind of platoon swap with those guys and work with them, work around them, and kind of become the best version of the Tampa Bay Rays that's possible, I think that the sky's the limit with him. And I think that him just being able to come in and hit doubles and get on base and work counts and just kind of grind out ABs is going to be fantastic. And I think that just him kind of hitting his stride into the spring is going to be great. And I'm really excited to kind of see what he can do. But you guys let me know what you guys think about Steven Matz obviously making his first start of the spring with Pepio starting tomorrow as well. And McClanahan's kind of coming back into stride here, and he should be getting on the mound for the Tampa Bay Rays very soon. And Ben Williamson, obviously, he's not going to be the star-studded guy for the Tampa Bay Rays, but he's going to provide as much as he can for us, and I think he's going to be a great addition to this infield, and he's going to be a great backup for Junior and for Gavin Lux, rather, whichever spot in the lineup's kind of open at that point. But you guys let me know what you guys think about all that, and you guys have a great one.